Welcome back, y'all, and today we're going to be checking out the Aqueon Betta Falls. Now, I have gotten an insane amount of requests from you guys to review this tank. And I do have a few ideas of what I could maybe do with this tank in the future. So first, let's take a look of what all comes in this kit. Okay, so inside this kit, we've got the cascading waterfall feature. It has a sleek curved design to the tank. Contains quiet flow power filtration, a maximum fill indicator window, Betta food and Betta bowl plus, adjustable flow rate for the filter, and frosted panels so that hopefully the Bettas don't really see each other too well. So without further ado, let's open it up and really check this thing out. Now, before we get too far into this, quick disclosure. This is a 2-gallon tank. The entire thing is 2 gallons, which the bare minimum tank size requirement for the Betta fish is 2.5 gallons for one Betta. So size-wise, this is not at all an appropriate tank for Bettas. But we are going to go ahead and take a look and see what all we've got here. So first, of course, we got to get this out of the plastic. And there is a lot of plastic and coupons for stuff I would never use. There's so much plastic. And here we've got our little setup guide. Not that I really need that. And here we have a sample of the Aqueon's Betta Bowl Plus and the Aqueon Betta food. Not really the same kind of stuff that I would use, but you know. All right, so we're gonna get all this plastic off of everything. So much plastic. Okay, so over in this back compartment, we have our filter cartridge. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that out. And I don't know if you can see the little slots right there. We're just gonna pop this right in the slot. So I'm gonna tear this apart. And of course, we've got a little cardboard piece, remove before use. Finally. And then water flow attachment instructions. So for starters, we've got our little pump, our little water pump. It is adjustable for the flow right here. So because this is supposed to be a Betta tank, you would want to put this on the absolute lowest setting. So if you can just see the little adjustable thing right here, we've got the minus and the plus. And then we're just gonna pop this back right into the tank. And then set our filter cartridge up. Now we're gonna put the little cups back in. So now in theory, these containers are supposed to each house 1 Betta. This is not even a half a gallon. I'm quite certain that this is not even a half a gallon. So this is not really appropriate at all to house any type of fish. Not really any type of fish in here. It's gonna be far too small. Each container is gonna be far too small to really house fish. So then we have our little lids. Now it does look like they made a little bit of an improvement to these lids from the design that I remember seeing when I set one of these up in my store against my will and better judgment. So if you actually did set this up and put Bettas in it, it's not as likely, but there is still a chance that your Betta could get pushed through that little gap. If you have a juvenile Betta. An adult Betta I don't think would fit through this, but it still might. There's still a chance. There's always a chance. It's a risk. From everything that I have read from customer reviews on this product online and from everything that I heard from customers when I used to work at the pet store, when they purchased it, they did. They had bettas making their way through the grates into the other tank, and we're waking up to find 3 bettas with torn up, terrible fins in this final cup. I cannot really emphasize enough that this is not really an ideal tank to put betta fish in. Or, again, any fish for that matter. I would not put any fish in this tank. However, depending on how loud this thing is when I turn it on, which, looking at the filter, it looks like it's not going to be anything loud. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this tank up with water, and we are going to test out the filter just to see how loud and powerful this filter is, because I do have a fun idea of what I want to do with this, but I'm not 100% sure that it's something that is feasible. Okay, I think we have enough water going on in here to get this going. Now, I didn't put any water conditioner or anything in here because we're just testing this out. That's all we're doing is testing out the filter. We're not adding any fish. I'm not adding any plants. I'm not doing anything with it at this moment. We are only testing this thing. Yeah, that filter is way louder than I would like. This whole thing just feels so cheap and plasticky. I'm not even gonna lie. So this filter is a little bit louder than some of my other tanks. It's a little bit louder than I would prefer. The flow with this turned all the way down doesn't look too bad. We are getting a lot of surface agitation, most definitely. I have read on some of the Amazon reviews and stuff that some people made adjustments to the filter to kind of keep it from being quite so strong. There really needs to be a clip on this plug because it's causing, the pump is causing this plug to rattle around, causing my cord to rattle around quite a bit. So I'll have to do something to clip that in place. Yeah, this filter is much louder than I would prefer. Much louder than I would prefer. We got a whole lot of vibration going on here. This is all very light. So we got just these lightweight acrylic containers and this lightweight plastic supporting it. And so the filter, the water pump is vibrating quite a bit in here. So I don't know if maybe putting a sponge or something near it might kind of help because it's vibrating the cord, which is making quite a bit of noise. Much more noise than I would prefer out of a setup like this. So my gosh, this thing is so loud, I gotta unplug it. So what I was thinking about considering doing is just losing the lids on this because they're just so cheap. What I was thinking about doing with this is having like just a little water garden, like a planted fountain, basically, like having a planted fountain, because that's really about all I could do with this. I really wish that the filtration was not so loud. That is my only big thing against this tank as far as using it for just a pretty decoration. Definitely would not recommend ever keeping any fish in here, but live aquatic plants, that's another story, or live semi-aquatic plants. You could have plants growing out of this. You could even maybe do like some pothos or something like that, make it really interesting. But again, as far as fish goes, would not recommend this ever for fish. Now, if you were doing an aquatic garden, of course, there is no light on this. So you would only want to put plants in here that do well in low levels of lighting. So I think that is actually what I'm going to be doing with this. I think I'm going to get some really cool river rocks and stuff and see what we can set up with this tank. But again, not appropriate for fish. I'm hoping that I can figure out a way to kind of quiet that filter, but aquatic garden. I can see it in my head. I think it's gonna look really nice with the fountain and with live plants in here. But again, no fish. So anyway, guys, that's all I really have for y'all today. As always, thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video.